Okay. So for complexity analysis of heap sort algorithm, we have to check the complexity of MaxCP5, BuildMaxHeap, and heap sort, all the three algorithms. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, let's see the MaxCP5 algorithm complexity analysis. Okay. So what MaxCP5 algorithm does, at a given index I, okay, it compares the left child and the right child, okay, with I. So there are three elements basically. There is the element I, which at which we are applying MaxCP5 algorithm. Then there is left child of I, there is right child of I, and among those child, whichever is greater, that replaces I. Like for example, this is 14, suppose this is 20, suppose this is 39, suppose. So among these three, 39 is greater. So what we'll get after maximum I? We'll get 39, 20, and 14. So three elements are there. Okay, I, left child of I, and right child of I. And this whole operation of comparison, basically what we are doing, we are comparing, we are doing comparisons. It takes order of one time or theta of one time, you can say. But to fix the relationship among the element, why I am saying relationship among the element, suppose there is a tree like this. Like this. So first of all, these two will be replaced. It will become 33, it will become 29. And then it will be replaced here, and then finally it will be replaced here. So you have to travel the complete tree length. You have to travel the complete tree length. And at every level you are comparing three elements. Okay, at every level you are comparing three elements. Like here one is compared with 33, 10. So we are comparing 1, 33, and 10. Then we are comparing 33, 29, and 17, like this. So at every level we are comparing three elements. Okay, so the comparison take order of one time, then but then we have to fix the relationship among elements. Okay, so the what will be the size of the children's subtrees? What will be the size of the children's subtrees? So since three elements we are considering, so one element we are taking 1 by third and 2n by 3. So size of children's subtree at any point of time will be 2n by 3. So here what we can do, we can create a recurrence. Like this. Okay. And when you will solve this, you will get it order of log n. So this is the complexity of MaxCP5 algorithm. Or you can simply say this, suppose if the root is the smaller element, the maximum distance that you have to travel is the height. The maximum distance you have to travel is the height in any tree, in any type of heap. Suppose root is the smallest element, whatever is the configuration, to make it a maxi, first you have to adjust one here, then you have to adjust one here, and then you have to adjust one here. Okay. So when root is the minimum element, maximum distance you have to travel is log n. So the complexity of MaxCP5 algorithm is log n. Okay. Now we have to see the complexity of BuildMaxCP5. BuildMaxHeap. Let's see. So in this algo, if we talk in a simple manner, like this algo as it is written there, you see there is a for loop which runs for n by 2 times. And inside that for loop, we are calling max CP5. Max CP5. So inside n by 2 times, we are calling log n because complexity of max CP5 is log n. So we can say that complexity is n log n. Okay? But this is not true. This is not true actually. The complexity of build max CP is order of n. And how it is order of n? Let's see. Suppose we have a heap like this. Okay? So we check nodes at every level. How many nodes are there? 2 to 4 to 6 to 8. 8 nodes. Here we have 4 nodes. Here we have 2 nodes. Here we have 1. Okay. So at every level we have nodes. Now in max CP5, I have already told you that we apply max CP5 algorithm from n by 2 to 1. It means on the half of the nodes we are not applying max CP5. So the nodes which are basically leaf nodes. On leaf nodes we are doing no work. No work is done on leaf node. So at this level basically we are doing no work. Okay. So what is the maximum number of node that can be present at every level? So height of this particular tree, since I have already told you that a heap is a almost complete binary tree, and height of heap is order of log n. Okay. So total number of nodes is n. So we want to find what is this is total node. So in this case n is equal to 15. We want to find what is number of node at each level. Okay. So number of node at each level, Ni is equal to ceiling of n upon 2 to the power h plus 1. This is the formula. Number of node at every level. So if we want to find number of node at height h is equal to 0, so it is 15 upon 2 to the power 0 plus 1. That is ceiling of 15 upon 2. That is ceiling of 7.5. That is equal to 8 nodes. So we have 8 nodes. Is this clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, at h is equal to 1, we can calculate. So 15 upon 2 to the power 1 plus 1. That is equal to 15 upon 4. That is equal to 3 point something, maybe 3.75, and that is 4. So here we are having 4 nodes. So this is the formula for number of nodes at each level. So now how many levels are there? Log n levels are there. And what is work done at every level? Okay. Log n levels are there, and what is work done at every level? So let's see here. Work done at every level, suppose it is Cn. So we have sigma I is equal to 0. Log n base 2. H upon, just wait. So what we have, levels, total number of level is log n base 2. So we have n upon 2 to the power h plus 1. This is node at every level and order of h. Why h? Because h is equal to log n. Height is log n. Okay. So this we can write as n upon 2 sigma I is equal to 0 log n base 2 h upon 2 to the power h plus 1. Okay. So the value of this will get a harmonic progression. Okay. So what we'll have finally, when we'll solve this, we can write it I is equal to 0 to infinite h upon 2 h into 2. Okay. So constant is 2, we'll ignore it. We'll have n by 2 sigma I is equal to 0 to infinite h upon 2 to power s. So this is HP harmonic progression. Okay. And when we'll solve this, so solving it is out of scope of the syllabus. What you will get less than equal to order of n. So basically, the complexity of build max heap is order of n. Okay, is this clear, class? See once again,
Yes, sir.
total number of node at every level is n upon 2 h plus 1, and total number of levels are h. That is height of the tree. So this is the formula. Okay, so n and 2, these we have taken out. So this is the constant because it is 2 into 1. So n by 2 is out there, and this is the formula for it. Okay. Now here. So after using HP, we'll have order of n. Okay. So now what we have at our hand, we have the complexity of max CP5, order of log n. We have complexity of build max heap, that is order of n. Now we'll see the complexity of heap sort. Let's see the heap sort. So we are running build max heap with complexity order of n. Then this loop is running n by 2 time, and inside this loop we are calling max CP5, that is order of log n. So if you total this, what you will get? Order of n plus n by 2 into log n. That is equal to order of n. So this is the complexity of heap sort. Simple. So if you are asked to analyze the complexity of heap sort algorithm, so you have to write all three algos: max CP5, then analyze its complexity, then build the max heap, again analyze its complexity, and then heap sort and analyze the complexity. Like we have done in CT, what you people have done, except one or two students, everybody has written, they have copied In fact, the merge algorithm, even they didn't care to copy the merge sort algorithm, and they have just written complexity of merge sort algorithm is n log n. While I have told you the recurrence and I have told you have to solve it if it comes in exam. And the same thing we have done with quicksort. Some of the students have just written quicksort algorithm. They didn't even care to write the partition algorithm. No recurrence solved, nothing. They just write it directly like order of n square. So this will not help you with your exams. Okay. So
Yes,
I
sir.
hope heap sort is clear now. All the complexity analysis and everything. Notes I will upload by today evening. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now we'll start priority queue. So priority queue is basically, we have already studied what is priority queue data structure. If you remember that, it is represented by two-dimensional array. It is also represented by linked list, and it is also represented by heap. So we'll see what are the operations that we can do on priority queue if it is represented by a heap. Okay.
Yes.
So a priority key or data structure for maintaining a set of element, each with an associated value, that is called priority. A max priority queue is something that support the following operations. So I'm going to just read this. I hope it is visible, class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so priority queue is a data structure for maintaining a set S of elements. So this is written here, key will call it priority. So this is basically priority. So again, we have max priority queue and min priority queue, like we have max heap and min heap. So max priority queue means that the parent with the root will be having the highest priority, and below root, every element will be having priority which is less than the parent. So the same relationship like max heap. So max heap means max priority queue, min heap means min priority queue. What are the operations supported? Operations supported are inserting an element, returning the maximum element, extracting the maximum element, and increasing the key of an element. What is the meaning of increasing key of an element? Suppose this is the heap we have. So increase key operation, suppose I implement increase key operation on this particular node and I convert 20 into 216. Okay. So this is increased key operation. So now it is not a max heap. So we have to again convert it into max heap. So these are four operations which are basically possible on a priority queue. Okay. So extract max, maximum S. Similarly, if we have a min priority queue, it will be minimum S, extract min S. Increase key can be also there, decrease key can be also there. Okay. So we'll see each operation one by one, how it is done. So there is a heap, okay, which is represented by A. A is the heap, A is the array which is representing the heap. Here also is the array which is representing the heap. Okay. So suppose this is the heap. Okay. So maximum, since we are having max priority queue, which is represented by a max heap. So we all know maximum is the first element. So in an array, this heap will be stored as so root. So index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, index 6, index 7, index 8, index 9, and index 10. So 100, then we have 50, then we have 75, index 4 is 40, then we have 36, then we have 23, then we have 19, then we have 7, then we have 1, then we have 16. So this array is passed here. So since root is the maximum element, so simply what we'll do, we'll return A1. A1 is 100. So what we will get here? This is heap maximum. Find the maximum. Now this operation obviously it can be done in theta of 1 time. Why theta of 1? Because this is the best case, this is the average case, this is the worst case. In any case, you will need only one operation to find the maximum. So theta of 1 time it can be done. Nothing, we have to do nothing, not even a single time. Okay. Now we have heap extract max. So we'll run this algorithm one by one. So what we'll do, extracted mean that we are deleting the element from the heap. We are deleting the element from the heap. So we already know the delete procedure. So for extracted mean, what we have to do? For extract min, step 1 is always you have to delete the root and replace with last element. We have already done this. And then apply max CP5 on I is equal to 1, that is the root index. Simple. So see here, if heap size less than 1, it means that heap does not exist. Okay, so it will give the error of underflow. Otherwise, max is equal to A1. So this element is max. A1 is equal to A dot heap size. So A1 is the last element. What is the size of heap? Size of heap is 10. So now A1 will be replaced with 10. So this step, what will happen in second step? This line, what it is saying? This line is saying that A1 is now replaced by 10. We have 50, 75, 40, 36, 23, 19, 7, 1, 16. And then we'll decrease the heap size obviously because one element is now less, so heap size will become 9 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Increase with 60. Okay, it was what? Let's assume this is 10. So now heap size will decrease. So what will happen here? This array will now become like this. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. So the heap size will decrease by 1. Now we'll apply max CP5 here. So obviously when you will max CP5 here, first 10 will travel here and this 10 will travel here. So after applying max CP5, what we'll get? After applying max CP5, we'll get 75, 23, 10, 19, 50, 40, 36, 7. So this is the operation for extracting the max. Okay, so simply what we have to do, you have to do nothing new, no new thing, like we have done in heap sort. Always you will delete the root element. Whenever you are asked to extract max, delete the root element, replace with the last element, and then apply max simplify on the root index. Is this clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll see the next algorithm. heap increase key. Again, this is very simple algorithm. We have to do nothing. Suppose we have a heap and we are increasing key of any element. So after increasing the key, we'll compare it with the parent. So if parent is greater, we'll exchange. After exchange, again we'll compare with the parent. So again, if parent is greater, we'll exchange. So this we have to do until we get a max heap. So let's see. Suppose we have a max heap here. So I am calling heap increase key. So this algorithm I am calling. A is the heap, I is the index for which I have to increase the value. So of 10th index, and key is the value, is the new value. Suppose now new value is 260. So we'll call this. Okay. So first of all, what it will check, suppose the value is 0, for example. So the statement 1 says, if the new value is less than the already existing value, it will return an error. So already existing value is 1, new value is 0. So we will get error. Algorithm will terminate. But if the value is greater than the already existing value, so here 216 is greater than 1. So what we'll do, we'll assign the new value to the key, new value to the index. So this 1 will now become 216. And now we'll see why I greater than 1. So till root we have to compare. We have to compare till root with every parent. Every time we have to compare parent and child. So first we'll compare these two. So 216 is greater. So obviously it will be replaced. So what we'll get here? We'll get here 100, 50, 75, 216, 7, 40, 36, 12, 23, 19. Again, this is I, so again we'll compare with the parent. So this is 50 and this, so obviously it is greater. Again we'll exchange. So now what we'll get? 100, 216, 75, 50, 36, 40, 7, 12, 7, 40, 12, 23 and 19. Again this is I, again we'll compare. Finally what we'll get? 16, 100, 75, 50, 7, 40, 36, 12, 23 and I hope it is clear. Heap increase key task. Is this clear? Is it clear or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So it's simple. What we have to do after increasing any key, just ensure that we get a max. So here we have increased, just compare with the parent, replace, compare with the parent, replace, compare with the parent, replace. And finally we get a maximum. So this is the only thing we have to do. Simple. And next algorithm. That is heap insert. So again, suppose we have a heap here. And suppose we want to insert x is equal to 65. So first statement says that heap size will be increased. Obviously, it will be increased because right now heap size is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So after inserting one more element, heap size will become 9. So it will increase. And then on ninth position, we will be inserting minus infinity. So here we are inserting minus at ninth position, lowest value. And then we are calling heap increase key. So I will call heap increase key A at ninth position 65. So after calling heap increase key, what will get? 100, 50, 75, 40, 7, 65, 36, 23, 90. So this is I. Again, you compare with the parent. Apply the heap increase key algorithm. So finally, what will get? 100, 65, 75, 50, 7, 40, 36, 23. So this is the heap, max heap, insert algorithm. So simple. QLTQ is simple. Insert take order of log and time. Okay. Heap increase key take order of log and time. Okay. And heap extract also take order of log and time. This we have discussed in the first lecture itself. So all three algorithm, extract max, heap insert, and heap increase key, all three algorithm, whether we are doing extract max or heap increase key or heap insert, these algorithm takes order of logging time. And find max, just take order of log time. Clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was all about priority queue, simple. So your first unit has been completed. We'll start with the second unit in detail tomorrow, but I will give you an overview of second unit of what we are having in second unit. Just
Yes.
wait. In second unit, we have 4 topics. No, it seems very simple, very small, but actually it is very big unit. So the topic 1 is that we have to study is a new data structure. With black color. Second is a data structure that we have already studied, which is B tree, but now we'll study it in Coleman. What Coleman says. Third, we are going to study binomial heap. And fourth, we are going to study Fibonacci. So these 4 advanced data structures are there in this case. Okay. So we'll start with back tree. So first thing that we have to know, I'm just going over. Tomorrow we'll discuss in detail. That it is a binary search tree. So binary search tree means that obviously left element will be less than root and right element will be greater than root. Okay. And also this is balanced. So when we have a balanced BST, It is called a AVL tree. But here there is a big difference. So apart from having a balance factor, every node has a color. Like suppose this is a black color, this is a red color, this is again a red color. Okay. And we have to maintain the black height of every node. So what is the black height of every node? Let's see. So black height of a node means if I travel from node to the leaf, any path, if I'm traveling from node to leaf on any path, then for every node, number of black node must be same. For every node, number of black node must be same at a particular level. So number of black node must be same at a particular level. So if you see for this node, so we are having two black node on this path, two black node on this path, and two black node on this path. If we see for this node, we have one black node on this path, one black node on this path. If we see for this node, then again one black node on this path. There is no other path. Okay, if we see for this node, zero black node. If we see for this node, zero black node. Suppose this is also R, then again zero black node. So we see that for any node, if we take any path, from node to leaf, okay, for any node X, if we take any path from node to leaf, number of black nodes must be same. So if this property is satisfied, then this is a red black tree. Otherwise, this is an unbalanced red black tree. And again, there are several rotations like we have done in AVL tree. So again, we have several rotations which will apply to make a unbalanced red black tree balance. So after inserting every node, again here also we have to check first the color of the node, and second whether after insertion the black height of the tree has been disturbed or not. So if black height of the tree has been disturbed, then we'll apply several rotations, and after applying rotations, we'll get a balanced red black tree. And one more important thing is that this combination never exists. So a red node cannot have a red child. Okay, a black node can have both black child and red child, but a red node will only have a black child. It cannot have a red child. So these are some restrictions. This was the overview of the black tree. It's a very important data structure, and as per your exam papers are concerned. Okay, so we'll read in detail, study in detail this data structure. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So maybe by today or tomorrow your CT marks I will upload. Only few copies are left. Then, and those students like Mustafa, and there was one more student, I am not remembering the name. They have not submitted the assignment in A4 sheet paper, so they are CT and A4 sheet paper, so they will be marked as absent or zero. The CT copies will not be sent. But it was clearly mentioned that you have to submit your CT on A4 size.